Verses 31 to 38. The rage, the outrage, of the Jews against him for this discourse, the Jews took up stones again, v. 31. It is not the word that is used before, ch. 859, but abastus and lithus they carried stones, great stones, stones that were a load, such as they used in stoning malefactors. They brought them from some place at a distance, as it were preparing things for his execution without any judicial process, as if he were convicted of blasphemy upon the notorious evidence of the fact, which needed no further trial. The absurdity of this insult which the Jews offered to Christ will appear if we consider, 1. That they had imperiously, not to say impudently, challenged him to tell them plainly whether he was the Christ or no, and yet now that he not only said he was the Christ, but proved himself so, they condemned him as a malefactor. If the preachers of the truth propose it modestly, they are branded as cowards, if boldly, as insolent, but wisdom is justified of her children. 2. That when they had before made a similar attempt it was in vain, he escaped through the midst of them, ch. 859, yet they repeat their baffled attempt. Daring sinners will throw stones at heaven, though they return upon their own heads, and will strengthen themselves against the Almighty, though none ever hardened themselves against him and prospered. Christ's tender expostulation with them upon occasion of this outrage, v. 32. Jesus answered what they did, for we do not find that they said anything, unless perhaps they stirred up the crowd that they had gathered about him to join with them, crying, Stone him, as afterwards, Crucify him, crucify him. When he could have answered them with fire from heaven, he mildly replied, Many good works have I shown you from my Father, for which of those works do you stone me? Words so very tender that one would think they should have melted a heart of stone. In dealing with his enemies he still argued from his works, men evidence what they are by what they do, his good works calla erga excellent, eminent works. Opera ex mea vel preclara, the expression signifies both great works and good works. The divine power of his works convicted them of the most obstinate infidelity. They were works from his Father, so far above the reach and course of nature as to prove him who did them sent of God, and acting by commission from him. These works he showed them, he did them openly before the people, and not in a corner. His works would bear the test, and refer themselves to the testimony of the most inquisitive and impartial spectators. He did not show his works by candle light, as those that are concerned only for show, but he showed them at noonday before the world, ch. 1820. CPS 111:6. His works so undeniably demonstrated that they were an incontestable demonstration of the validity of his commission. The divine grace of his works convicted them of the most base ingratitude. The works he did among them were not only miracles, but mercies, not only works of wonder to amaze them, but works of love and kindness to do them good, and so make them good, and endear himself to them. He healed the sick, cleansed the lepers, cast out devils, which were favors, not only to the persons concerned, but to the public. These he had repeated, and multiplied. Now for which of these do you stone me? You cannot say that I have done you any harm, or given you any just provocation. If therefore you will pick a quarrel with me, it must be for some good work, some good turn done you, tell me for which. Note: the horrid ingratitude that there is in our sins against God and Jesus Christ is a great aggravation of them, and makes them appear exceedingly sinful. See how God argues to this purpose, do. 32:6, J 2:5, Mike 6:3. We must not think it strange if we meet with those who not only hate us without cause, but are our adversaries for our love. PS 35:12, 41:9. When he asks, For which of these do you stone me? As he intimates the abundant satisfaction he had in his own innocency, which gives a man courage in a suffering day, so he puts his persecutors upon considering what was the true reason of their enmity, and asking, as all those should do that create trouble to their neighbor, Why persecute we him? As Job advises his friends to do, Job 19:28. Their vindication of the attempt they made upon Christ, and the cause upon which they grounded their prosecution, v. 33. What sin will want fig leaves with which to cover itself, when even the bloody persecutors of the Son of God could find something to say for themselves? They would not be thought such enemies to their country as to persecute him for a good work. For a good work we stone thee not. For indeed they would scarcely allow any of his works to be so. His curing the impotent man, ch. 5, and the blind man, ch. 9, were so far from being acknowledged good services to the town, and meritorious, that they were put upon the score of his crimes, because done on the Sabbath day. But, if he had done any good works, they would not own that they stoned him for them, though these were really the things that did most exasperate them, ch. 1147. Thus, though most absurd, they could not be brought to own their absurdities.